everyone, in today's video, we're diving into some cities that might be hitting a rough patch in 2024. It's no secret that every city and state faces tough times eventually, but if you can avoid it, why not? If you're planning a move or looking to invest in real estate, you'll definitely want to do your homework before picking up the phone to call a realtor. Since the pandemic, the landscape has changed quite a bit. Some cities took on massive debt, while others were already struggling financially, and now the bills are coming due. Combine this with long-standing issues that have only worsened since the pandemic, and you've got a recipe for potential trouble. Budget cuts and financial mismanagement usually lead to more problems. So in this video, we're breaking down which cities might be going downhill in 2024 and the reasons behind it. Ready to find out which places to be cautious about? Let's get started. Number 10. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Let's kick things off with Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Now, don't get me wrong, Pittsburgh isn't all that bad. For a major city, it's holding up pretty well. Sure, there's some crime, but it's nowhere near as severe as in other cities in this region of the United States. When you compare Pittsburgh's traffic to that of other big cities, it's actually pretty manageable. Housing costs and the overall cost of living are reasonable, and there are plenty of activities to keep you entertained. But here's where it gets tricky for Pittsburgh. The future isn't looking too bright due to its heavy debt load. Officially, the city claims to be about $382 million in debt. However, other reports suggest the figure could be anywhere between $500 million and just under $1 billion. Regardless of the exact amount, it's a significant burden. This debt situation means that Pittsburgh's residents might soon be facing higher taxes as the city scrambles to cover its financial obligations. Imagine every Pittsburgher having to come up with roughly $14,000 to pay down the city's debt. Obviously, that's not how it works. Instead, the city will likely introduce new taxes or increase existing ones, which could drive people and businesses away. A major factor in this financial mess is the aging population. About 21% of Pittsburgh's residents are over the age of 65, compared to the national average of around 14%. This demographic shift can strain city resources and complicate efforts to rejuvenate the local economy. Currently, the average home value in Pittsburgh is about $225,000. Home values grew by 2.3% last year and are predicted to rise another 3.1% in 2024. While this is good news for sellers, it makes moving to Pittsburgh less appealing for potential buyers. Number 9. Miami, Florida. Next up is Miami, Florida, a city with a roller coaster history of highs and lows. Depending on the decade, Miami has either been thriving or struggling. Right now, it seems to be somewhere in the middle. Crime rates are not the worst, but they're not fantastic either. Housing costs are on the higher side, employment numbers aren't great, and the overall cost of living is pretty high. But hey, the beaches are beautiful, and sometimes that makes up for a lot. The Magic City is grappling with nearly $2 billion in unfunded pension and healthcare benefits. Some studies put the figure closer to $1.3 billion. Either way, it's a hefty sum. There are multiple pension funds in the city, and while the police and firefighters' pension funds have performed well in recent years, it's not enough to offset the overall debt. This debt translates to roughly $14,000 per resident. If Miami doesn't catch a break soon, it could face another downturn filled with rising crime and debt. As budget problems worsen, funding cuts to schools and public services like police and fire departments become inevitable, exacerbating existing issues. One of the biggest challenges Miami faces is the rapidly rising home values. As of the second quarter of 2023, the average home value in Miami is $568,000. In the last year alone, home prices have increased by 5.1%, and they're expected to rise another 6.7% in 2024. While this is great news for current homeowners, it makes the city less accessible for newcomers. Imagine scrolling through Zillow and finding a 3-bedroom, 6-bath condo priced at a whopping $8 million. Miami's real estate market is booming, but that boom comes with its own set of challenges for the city's residents and potential new inhabitants. Number 8. Denver, Colorado. Denver, Colorado, known for its stunning mountain views and vibrant city life, is facing some serious financial challenges. Over the past decade, Denver has experienced rapid growth, drawing people from across the country. This influx has led to a strain on the city's infrastructure and public services, contributing to a significant debt burden. The average home value in Denver has seen substantial increases, reflecting the city's popularity and economic growth. As of 2023, the average home value is around around $600,000, marking a 7% increase from the previous year. This surge in home prices is great for current homeowners, but poses a challenge for potential buyers and renters, making affordability a growing concern. Denver's public services are feeling the strain of this rapid growth. The city has reported rising crime rates and homelessness, partly due to the increased cost of living. In terms of demographics, Denver has a relatively young population with a median age of 34.6 years, slightly younger than the national median age of 38.2 years. However, the city's aging infrastructure and the need for extensive maintenance and upgrades are becoming increasingly evident. Another significant issue is Denver's pension obligations. The city owes a considerable amount in unfunded pension and healthcare benefits. Estimates suggest that Denver's unfunded liabilities are in the billions, creating a substantial financial burden. These obligations put pressure on the city's budget, leading to potential increases in taxes and reductions in public services. Denver's leaders are working to address these challenges, but the path forward is complex. Balancing growth, maintaining infrastructure, and meeting pension obligations require careful planning and cooperation among city officials, residents, and businesses. As Denver continues to evolve, its ability to navigate these financial hurdles will be crucial in determining its future prosperity and livability. Number 7. Chicago, Illinois. Chicago, the Windy City, stands as a cultural and economic hub in the United States, but it faces some daunting challenges. The city has long struggled with high crime rates and a staggering amount of debt. Chicago's financial woes are largely driven by its pension obligations, with billions owed to city employees. This debt burden is exerting immense pressure on the city's finances, leading to higher taxes and reduced public services. In terms of real estate, Chicago's housing market presents a mixed picture. The average home value in Chicago is around $300,000, and over the past year, home values have appreciated by approximately 4%. While this growth is modest compared to some other cities, it reflects a steady increase in property values. However, disparities exist across different neighborhoods, with some areas experiencing significant revitalization, while others continue to struggle with disinvestment and high crime rates. Chicago's demographics reveal a diverse and dynamic population. The median age in the city is around 34 years, which is younger than the national average of 38.2 years. Despite this relatively young population, the city faces significant challenges in meeting the needs of its residents, particularly in areas related to public safety, education, and housing affordability. The city's unfunded pension liabilities are a major concern. Chicago owes tens of billions in unfunded pension and healthcare benefits, placing a heavy financial burden on the city's budget. The situation has led to higher property taxes and cuts in essential services, affecting the quality of life for many residents. Chicago's leaders are actively seeking solutions to these problems, but the road ahead is challenging. Addressing the city's debt, reducing crime, and improving public services will require concerted efforts and innovative strategies. While Chicago remains a vibrant and important city, its ability to navigate these financial and social challenges will be critical to its future success. Number 6. San Francisco, California. San Francisco, renowned for its iconic Golden Gate Bridge and booming tech industry, is currently grappling with significant issues that threaten its allure. The city boasts one of the highest costs of living in the country, with the average home value exceeding $1.4 million. Despite a strong economy fueled by the tech sector, San Francisco faces a host of challenges, including homelessness, crime, and a widening wealth gap. The real estate market in San Francisco is a double-edged sword. Over the past year, home values have appreciated by about 5%, continuing an upward trend that has been ongoing for several years. While this is good news for homeowners, it exacerbates the affordability crisis for potential buyers and renters. The high cost of housing is driving many residents out of the city, seeking more affordable living conditions elsewhere. San Francisco's demographics are quite unique. The city has a relatively young population with a median age of 38.5 years, closely mirroring the national average. However, the high cost of living and challenging housing market make it difficult for many younger residents to establish long-term roots in the city. This trend is contributing to a population decline, as the pandemic has accelerated the out-migration of residents seeking more affordable living conditions. The city also faces substantial financial challenges. San Francisco owes billions in unfunded pension and healthcare benefits, creating a significant strain on its budget. These financial obligations have led to cuts in public services and increased taxes, further impacting the quality of life for many residents. The pandemic has highlighted and exacerbated many of these issues. The city's once bustling streets and vibrant neighborhoods have seen a decline in activity, and the tech industry's shift towards remote work has reduced the demand for office space and downtown real estate. San Francisco's leaders are working to address these challenges, but the solutions are complex and multifaceted. Balancing economic growth, maintaining affordability, and ensuring public safety are critical to the city's future. As San Francisco continues to navigate these turbulent times, its resilience and ability to adapt will determine its path forward. Number 5. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Look at that. Pennsylvania manages to get 2 spots in her list. Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, is rich in history and cultural significance. It's home to iconic landmarks like the Liberty Bell and Independence Hall. However, despite its historical charm, Philadelphia faces significant challenges. One area that's particularly notorious is the Kensington neighborhood. If you ever want to see a stark contrast to the city's historic beauty, just take a virtual stroll through Kensington using Google Street View. You'll find streets filled with people who have been devastated by substance abuse, creating scenes reminiscent of a Star Wars cantina or an episode of The Walking Dead. It's not a pretty sight and highlights some of the deeper issues the city is grappling with. Financially, Philadelphia has been on a bit of a roller coaster. The city saw some improvements post-pandemic, but these gains are likely to be short-lived. Philadelphia is staring down a nearly $12 billion deficit. To put that in perspective, if they wanted to pay off this debt, each resident would need to contribute about $20,000. Ouch. On the plus side, Philadelphia does have some financial assets. The city has around $19.5 billion in bills, but also has $7.6 billion in assets, bringing the net deficit to nearly $12 billion. Without these assets, the financial situation would be even more dire. If you're considering buying a home in Philadelphia, there's a bit of a silver lining. The real estate market is relatively affordable compared to other major cities. The average home value is about $216, which is down 2.7% from last year. In 2024, it's expected to drop another 2%, making it even cheaper. However, given the city's financial woes and some of its rougher neighborhoods, it might not be the best investment right now. Philadelphia's demographic profile is also interesting. The city has a median age of 34.4 years, which is slightly younger than the national average. This youthful population could be a double-edged sword, offering potential growth, but also requiring significant investment in education and employment opportunities to harness that potential. Number 4. New Orleans, Louisiana. New Orleans, also known as the Big Easy, is a city famous for its vibrant culture, music, and food. However, it's facing some serious financial challenges. The city has been graded an F for fiscal stability, indicating a lack of financial stability. When it comes to infrastructure, New Orleans is struggling. The roads in New Orleans are among the worst in any major city. I've driven through war-torn countries with better roads than New Orleans. The city's problems are not new. Over the years, city officials have been guilty of underfunding pension entitlements and reneging on retirement healthcare pledges. Moreover, the city is one of many that submitted their fiscal report late, which worsened the situation by delaying necessary funds. Currently, New Orleans has about $860 million in assets, which sounds impressive until you realize the city has $3.2 billion in debt. This puts New Orleans in a $2.3 billion financial hole. To cover this debt, every single tax-paying citizen would theoretically need to pay about $22,800. Imagine them coming to collect. You'd be fishing around your couch cushions for quite a while. At least the real estate is relatively cheap in New Orleans. The average home value is $256,000, but it's down 8% from last year. In 2024, it's expected to drop another 6%. When you see such declines in the market, you know the city's in trouble. Additionally, Orleans has a relatively high percentage of its population over the age of 65, about 16%, compared to the national average of 14%. This aging demographic adds another layer of complexity to the city's financial challenges. Number 3. Portland, Oregon. Portland, Oregon, known for its quirky culture and beautiful landscapes, has been struggling with financial problems for quite some time. The city has a lot of issues and not nearly enough money to address them. According to DataC, Portland has $1.8 billion in assets, but owes $7 billion. This leaves the city in a fiscal hole of $5.2 billion. If Portland wanted to pay off this debt overnight, each resident would need to fork over $23,400. That's a huge burden for anyone. Real estate in Portland is also a mixed bag. The average home value is about $528,000, down 4.7% from last year. It's predicted to drop another 3% in 2024. Portland is expensive in debt and has a significant homeless population, which adds to the city's challenges. Portland's demographics show a relatively young population with a median age of 37.5 years, close to the national average. However, the financial pressures on the city are immense. The city's pension obligations and unfunded healthcare benefits contribute significantly to its debt. These financial strains have led to higher taxes and cuts in public services, which affect the quality of life for many residents. Number 2. New York City, New York. New York City, one of the largest and most iconic cities in the world, is facing some severe financial difficulties. With its vast area and massive population, the city spends a huge amount of money each year, leading to a deep financial hole. Many people believe that New York City is heading towards a financial cliff that'll be difficult to recover from. Currently, the debt in New York City is around $170 billion. By 2027, it's predicted to balloon to almost $203 billion. This kind of debt cycle leads to service cutbacks and tax increases. Perhaps a giant garage sale could help, but realistically, the city is in for some tough times ahead. The real estate market in New York City is incredibly expensive. The average home value is $826,000, down 2.4% from last year, and it's estimated to drop another 2% in 2024. Despite the high costs, the city continues to draw people from around the world, but its financial future looks uncertain. New York City's demographic profile is diverse, with a median age of 36.2 years, younger than the national average. However, the city's financial challenges are daunting. The high cost of living, coupled with substantial unfunded pension and healthcare benefits, puts immense pressure on the city's budget. These financial obligations have led to increased taxes and reduced public services, impacting the overall quality of life. Number 1. Honolulu, Hawaii. Honolulu, Hawaii is a paradise on earth with its stunning beaches and beautiful landscapes, but it's facing significant financial challenges. The city is expensive, has some crime issues, and is deeply in debt. In the next few years, Honolulu is expected to encounter serious financial problems. The pandemic hit Honolulu hard as it's a tourist town, and the loss of tourism revenue has significantly impacted the city's finances. The average home value in Honolulu is $798,000. Down 3.4% from last year. It's predicted to drop another 3% at least in 2024. Honolulu's demographics show a higher percentage of residents over the age of 65, about 17% compared to the national average. This aging population, combined with the city's financial difficulties, presents a unique set of challenges. The city owes a substantial amount in unfunded pension and healthcare benefits, which adds to its debt burden. As Honolulu navigates these challenges, it'll need to find ways to balance its budget, maintain public services, and support its aging population. The city's ability to recover from the pandemic and address its financial issues will be crucial in determining its future. And that's it on today's video. Thanks for joining us. It's crucial to stay informed, especially if you're considering a move or investment. We hope this video helped shed some light on the economic challenges these cities face. If you found this content helpful, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Explore Nest for more insights in urban living and financial trends. Stay tuned for our next video, and until then, stay curious and informed.